The African savanna awakens beneath a vast, golden sky, its endless grasslands shimmering in the first light of dawn. This is a realm shaped by ancient forces, where every blade of grass, every shadow and every heartbeat is governed by rules invisible to the eye, yet deeply felt by every creature that calls this place home. Life here begins at the smallest scale. Insects swarm and crawl, their movements orchestrating the decomposition and renewal of the land. Dung beetles labor tirelessly, recycling nutrients, while termites construct towering mounds that serve as fortresses and microclimates, shaping the very soil beneath the feet of giants. The air is thick with anticipation. Every morning, antelope and zebra scan the horizon, their senses tuned to the faintest tremor in the earth or whisper in the wind. Even the smallest creatures, like spiders weaving dew-laden webs and ants forging trails, are bound by the need to remain unseen or to outmaneuver their own predators. Predators move with calculated precision, their bodies pressed low against the grass, muscles coiled in silence. Lions, hyenas, and jackals exploit the cover of dawn and dusk, using the shifting light to mask their approach. Every step is measured, every breath controlled, as they read the subtle cues left by their quarry. The chase is swift and brutal, but the aftermath is equally vital. Vultures and storks descend from the sky, their sharp eyes spotting opportunity from miles away. Scavengers like jackals and hyenas wait for their moment, each species playing a role in the rapid recycling of life. The grass itself is alive with secrets. Mongoose families dart between rocks, ever watchful for snakes that glide silently through the undergrowth. Every movement is a calculation. Risk versus reward, hunger versus safety. Height offers its own advantage. Giraffes, towering above the plains, browse on acacia leaves, their long tongues deftly avoiding thorns. Oxpeckers ride their backs, picking off parasites, a partnership forged by necessity, each species benefiting from the other's vigilance. At the watering holes, a fragile truce prevails. Elephants, zebras, giraffes, warthogs, and baboons gather, each aware that the promise of water comes with the risk of ambush. The rules here are simple: drink quickly, stay alert, and never stray too far from the safety of the group. The titans of the savanna, elephants and Cape buffalo, rely on unity and strength. Elephant herds are led by wise matriarchs, their memories guiding the group to hidden water and safe passage. Buffalo form impenetrable walls, horns outward, calves protected at the center, ready to face down any threat. The hunters are masters of strategy. Wild dogs communicate with high-pitched calls, coordinating complex chases that test the endurance of their prey. Leopards, solitary and elusive, use the cover of trees and darkness, striking with silent precision before vanishing into the night. Grazers move in vast shifting herds, their migrations dictated by the rains and the promise of fresh grass. Zebras and wildebeest cross rivers teeming with danger, while impalas and gazelles leap and dart, their agility a shield against the ever-present threat of predation. Survival demands constant vigilance. A single alarm call can send hundreds of animals into motion, hooves thundering across the plain. Wildebeest cluster together, impalas freeze, every sense straining to detect the source of danger. The savanna is a web of interdependence. Birds clean insects from the hides of buffalo, dung beetles aerate the soil, and every predator-prey interaction shapes the health of the land. Each species, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, is a thread in the fabric of this ecosystem. Anticipation hangs in the air. Lionesses crouch low, eyes fixed on the herd, while cheetah cubs watch and learn the art of the hunt. Antelope fawns remain motionless, hidden by grass, relying on stillness as their only defense. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savanna transforms. Nocturnal creatures emerge, bat-eared foxes, genets, and owls, each adapted to thrive in the cool darkness. The rules shift and new players take the stage. Dusk is the witching hour. Lions stretch and yawn, their golden eyes reflecting the last light. Hyenas call to one another, their eerie laughter echoing across the plains. Servals stalk silently, using their keen hearing to locate prey hidden in the grass. Sound is a language of power, the roar of a lion, the rumble of elephants, the distant thunder. Each carries meaning, marking territory, signaling danger, or calling the herd. These vocalizations are woven into the daily rhythm of life and survival. The environment itself is a player in this drama. The scent of rain on parched earth, the sudden flight of birds, the swarming of termites after a storm. Each event triggers a cascade of responses as animals adjust their behavior to the shifting moods of the land. Communication is subtle and constant. A flick of an ear, a raised tail, a chorus of alarm calls. These signals ripple through the herds, warning of danger or signaling safety. Meerkats stand sentinel, baboons bark warnings, and every animal listens, knowing that survival depends on understanding this silent language. The aftermath of a hunt is a lesson in hierarchy. Lions feed first, their dominance unquestioned. Hyenas and jackals test the boundaries, waiting for their chance. Vultures descend in swirling clouds, stripping the bones clean and returning nutrients to the earth. Even at moments of uneasy peace, the rules persist. Predators and prey share the same water, each aware of the other's presence. Crocodiles lie in wait, hippos guard their territory, and every animal knows its place in the hierarchy. The grand migrations are the heartbeat of the savannah. Herds move in endless lines, following ancient routes etched into memory. Elephants cross dry riverbeds, wildebeest surge across plains, all driven by the search for food and water, a journey fraught with peril but essential for survival. Predation is not cruelty, but necessity. The lion that brings down a zebra feeds its pride and ensures the health of the herd by culling the weak. Scavengers clean the remains, and the rains bring new growth, completing the cycle of renewal. Rivers are boundaries and battlegrounds. Crocodiles wait in ambush, their patience legendary. Wildebeest cross in desperate surges, some falling prey, others making it to the far bank. Even here, nothing is wasted. Fish and birds seize their own opportunities in the chaos. Every pursuit, every escape, every storm and sunrise is a thread in the intricate tapestry of the savannah. Here, the unseen rules are written in instinct, adaptation, and the relentless drive to survive. This is a world of raw power, delicate balance, and endless wonder, where life endures, not by chance, but by the mastery of the rules that govern this untamed wilderness. In the heart of southern Africa sprawls Kafue National Park, a wilderness of staggering proportions and ancient origins. Covering more than 22,000 square kilometers, Kafue is not only one of Africa's oldest reserves, but also among its most ecologically complex. Here, the land is a living tapestry, woven from a multitude of habitats that support an extraordinary array of life. The dense Mayombo woodlands, shrouded in mystery, shelter rare and endemic species, secretive antelopes, vibrant birds, and elusive small carnivores. As the forest gives way, the landscape opens into the Basanga floodplain, a vast expanse that undergoes a dramatic transformation with the arrival of the rains. Floodwaters breathe life into the grasslands, drawing immense herds of red lechwe and puku, while flocks of water birds descend in dazzling numbers, their calls echoing across the wetlands. The Kafue River, a powerful artery, meanders through this wild domain, sculpting a mosaic of swamps, thickets, and open savannas. This diversity of environments is the foundation of Kafue's astonishing biodiversity, making it a sanctuary for countless species and a stronghold for some of Africa's most iconic predators. Lions, organized into formidable prides, stalk the floodplains, their roars resonating through the night. Elusive leopards slip silently through the undergrowth, while packs of African wild dogs, among the continent's most efficient hunters, coordinate high-speed chases across the open grass. Elephants, the architects of the woodland, shape the landscape as they move in matriarchal herds, and crocodiles lie in wait along the riverbanks, ever patient for an opportunity. Yet life here is a constant struggle. The dry season brings harsh challenges. Shrinking water sources force animals into closer proximity, intensifying competition and predation. Fire, both natural and lightning-sparked, sweeps through the grasslands, renewing the ecosystem but also testing the resilience of its inhabitants. In Kafue, survival is a delicate balance, dictated by the rhythms of water, the pulse of the seasons, and the ever-present threat of predation. Journeying east, the Masai Mara in Kenya emerges as a landscape of legend. This vast savanna, seamlessly connected to Tanzania's Serengeti, is named for its spotted appearance. Acacia trees punctuate the golden grasslands, creating a quintessential African vista. The Mara's rolling hills and deep valleys, ranging from 1,500 to 2,100 meters in elevation, are traversed by the life-giving Mara River, whose banks become the stage for one of nature's most dramatic spectacles. The Masai Mara is a powerhouse of biodiversity, home to over 95 species of mammals and more than 570 species of birds. Towering giraffes browse among the acacias, while immense herds of wildebeest and zebra graze the plains, their movements shaping the very fabric of the ecosystem. The annual migration, a relentless search for fresh grazing, brings over 1 million wildebeest and hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles into the Mara, pursued by a formidable cast of predators. Here, the predator-prey dynamic is on full display. Lions, the undisputed rulers of the Mara, orchestrate ambushes in the tall grass, while cheetahs rely on explosive speed to bring down fleet-footed gazelles. Hyenas, both cunning and powerful, scavenge and hunt in large clans, often challenging lions for their hard-won meals. The open plains offer little refuge. Survival depends on vigilance, speed, and the ability to blend into the landscape. The Mara River crossings are legendary. Wildebeest and zebra plunge into the water, braving powerful currents and the jaws of waiting crocodiles. For many, the journey ends in tragedy, but for the survivors, it is a testament to the relentless drive of life. These dramatic encounters are not only a spectacle, but a vital part of the ecosystem, nourishing predators and scavengers alike. Yet the Masai Mara faces its own environmental challenges. Prolonged droughts test the endurance of all who live here, as waterholes shrink and competition intensifies. When the rains finally return, the land is reborn, grasslands erupting in green and herds dispersing once more. Fire, drought, and flood are all part of the Mara's eternal cycle, shaping the destinies of predator and prey alike. In both Kafue and the Masai Mara, the struggle for survival is unending. These are places where the wild heart of Africa beats strongest, where every day is a contest of strength, strategy, and adaptation. Here, the drama of life and death unfolds in its purest form, making these landscapes among the most awe-inspiring and vital on Earth. When you think of an African predator, the first image that comes to mind is almost always the lion. But the savannah is a stage where many actors play their part, each with their own strengths, weaknesses, and strategies. The lion, with its immense size and formidable muscle, is a symbol of raw power. A big male can weigh up to 250 kilograms, a living fortress of sinew and strength. His mane, thick and imposing, is more than a crown, its armor shielding his neck during violent clashes with rivals. These battles are not just displays of dominance, but vital contests that shape the very structure of the pride. Lions are unique among cats for their social nature. Prides, often 10 to 15 strong, are intricate societies where every member has a role. This unity is their greatest weapon, allowing them to bring down prey that would be impossible for a solitary hunter. Within the pride, power dynamics are clear. Males defend the territory. Their presence a deterrent to intruders and rival coalitions. Lionesses, lighter and more agile, are the pride's primary hunters. Their coordination is a marvel, each movement calculated, each role understood without a word. A hunt is a symphony of strategy and instinct. Lionesses fan out, using the tall grass and the cover of dusk to mask their approach. They communicate with subtle glances and body language, encircling their target with silent precision. The chase is often initiated by one or two lionesses who drive the panicked prey toward the waiting pride. It is a calculated risk. Timing and teamwork are everything. The ambush is swift, the outcome often brutal. Against formidable prey like the Cape buffalo, the stakes are even higher. The buffalo, massive and powerful, is no easy target. The lions move with silent purpose, isolating a single animal from the herd. The lead lioness may leap onto its back, claws digging deep, while the buffalo thrashes in defiance. The buffalo's resistance is fierce. Sometimes it manages to shake off its attackers or even injure them. But the pride's strength lies in numbers. One by one, more lions join, their combined force overwhelming even the most powerful adversary. This is the law of the Savannah: power in unity, survival through cooperation. The kill is not just a victory for the pride, but a testament to the delicate balance of nature. Yet not every hunt is a grand spectacle. Sometimes a lone lion stalks a gazelle, relying on stealth and explosive speed. The chase is brief, a blur of muscle and intent, ending in a single, decisive leap. The lion's goal is to close the distance before the gazelle can react. Once close enough, he launches himself, landing with crushing force. In moments, the pride converges, ensuring the kill is swift and efficient. But lions are not the only masters of the savannah. The hyena, often underestimated, is a cunning strategist. Their clans can number up to 80 individuals, and their social intelligence rivals that of primates. Hyenas use endurance and teamwork to wear down prey, often outlasting even the lions in a contest of stamina. Power dynamics between predators are ever shifting. Lions may dominate a kill, but hyenas are relentless, harassing and testing the pride's resolve. Sometimes sheer numbers and persistence allow them to steal a hard-won meal. The cheetah, meanwhile, is the embodiment of speed and precision. Unlike lions or hyenas, cheetahs hunt alone or in small family groups. Their strategy is to strike fast and end the chase before larger predators arrive to steal their prize. The leopard is the master of stealth. Solitary and elusive, it relies on ambush and the cover of darkness. After a successful hunt, it drags its kill high into the trees, safe from scavengers and rivals. Even after the main predators have fed, the symphony continues. Vultures, jackals, and other scavengers move in, each playing their part in the cycle of life and death. Nothing is wasted. Every scrap is claimed. This is the true symphony of power, a complex, ever-changing dance where every predator, every scavenger, and every prey animal is both a player and an audience. The balance is delicate, the stakes are life and death, and the music of survival never truly ends. It is this blend of individual might, collective strategy, and the interplay of rival predators that cements the lion's reign as king. But in the grand orchestra of the wild, every creature has its moment, and every note matters. Where the lion is a force of brute strength and social cooperation, the leopard is a master of stealth, silence, and solitude. A solitary shadow that moves with calculated intent. The leopard's existence is defined by its ability to remain unseen, slipping through the landscape with barely a whisper. This is a predator that walks alone, a ghost of the savannah, whose presence is often only revealed by the sudden alarm calls of prey or the faintest rustle in the grass. Its stunning spotted coat is not for beauty, but a marvel of evolutionary design, a disruptive pattern that breaks up its outline, rendering it nearly invisible in the dappled light and shifting shadows. This camouflage allows the leopard to melt into the bush, vanishing among the tangled undergrowth or the patchwork of sunlight and shadow beneath the trees. Even high in the dense foliage of a tree, the leopard becomes a part of the landscape, unseen by both prey and rival predators. A leopard hunt is not a thunderous charge, but a slow, methodical game of patience and precision, where every movement is calculated and every pause is purposeful. The leopard relies on getting impossibly close to its prey, often within a few meters before launching its attack, a feat that demands absolute silence and control. Its senses are razor-sharp, eyes that pierce the gloom, ears that catch the faintest footfall, and whiskers that detect the slightest shift in the air. The leopard's strategy is one of ambush, using the terrain to its advantage, waiting, motionless, until the perfect moment to strike. It may spend hours tracking a single impala, matching its movements and using every dip in the ground, every bush, and every shadow as cover. The leopard's movement is a study in fluidity, muscles rippling beneath the skin, paws placed with surgical precision to avoid snapping twigs or rustling leaves. Every step is deliberate, every muscle controlled. As it closes the distance in near silence, it stays low to the ground, using every blade of grass and every shadow for cover, its body pressed flat, tail held low to avoid detection. The final attack is a blur of motion, an explosive burst of speed over a very short distance, often less than 20 meters. The struggle is brief but ferocious, the leopard's powerful forelimbs wrapping around its prey, claws digging deep to hold it fast. With a suffocating bite to the throat, the leopard cuts off the animal's air supply, ending the hunt with chilling efficiency. This is a hunter that kills with precision, minimizing noise and commotion to avoid drawing unwanted attention. Unlike lions, which often feast where they kill, the leopard must always be wary of larger predators and scavengers. Hyenas and lions are constant threats, drawn by the scent of blood and the promise of an easy meal. A hard-won meal can be lost in moments if the leopard is not vigilant, forcing it to act quickly and decisively. To protect its prize, the leopard performs an astonishing feat of strength and agility. It will often drag its kill, sometimes weighing more than itself, across rough terrain, through thick brush, and up steep inclines. With powerful jaws and forelimbs, the leopard hauls its prey high into the branches of a tree, defying gravity with every step. This treetop larder keeps the carcass safe from ground-dwelling thieves, allowing the leopard to feed in relative peace. Here, the leopard can eat at its leisure, returning to the kill over several days, often resting in the same branches to guard its meal. Witnessing a leopard hoist an antelope into the canopy is a testament to its pound-for-pound power. One of the most impressive feats in the animal kingdom, the leopard's solitary nature is not a weakness, but a strategy honed by necessity. It is the ultimate opportunist, adapting its tactics to suit the moment. While it may favor medium-sized prey like impala or gazelle, the leopard's menu is as varied as the habitats it occupies. Its diet includes everything, from birds and reptiles to rodents, monkeys, and even fish, depending on what the environment offers. This adaptability allows the leopard to exploit opportunities that other predators might overlook, hunting at any hour in any weather, and across a vast range of terrain. From the dense forests of Central Africa to the open plains and rocky outcrops of the Savannah, the leopard's versatility is unmatched. It thrives in environments where other large predators struggle, using its climbing ability and stealth to avoid confrontation and maximize survival. The leopard is the embodiment of silent lethality, a creature whose power lies not in numbers or noise, but in cunning and concealment. Its eyes, adapted for low light, allow it to hunt by night as effectively as by day, making it a relentless and unpredictable threat. It is the unseen predator, a master of the shadows whose presence is felt long before it is ever seen. In the world of survival, the leopard stands as a testament to the power of patience, adaptability, and silent prowess, one of the most successful and enigmatic hunters in the animal kingdom. Among all the predators that roam the African savanna, the African wild dog stands out as a paragon of efficiency and teamwork. Their hunting prowess is not just a matter of physical ability, but a remarkable display of social intelligence and coordination. These animals are never solitary. Every aspect of their lives revolves around the pack, a tightly knit family unit that operates with a level of cohesion rarely seen in the animal kingdom. Each member has a role, from the dominant breeding pair to the subordinate helpers, and even the pups are integrated into the social structure. Their coats, a patchwork of black, yellow and white, are as individual as fingerprints, allowing pack members to recognize each other instantly, even in the chaos of a hunt. Built for endurance, wild dogs possess long, slender legs and a lightweight frame. Unlike the explosive speed of a cheetah, their bodies are engineered for relentless pursuit, capable of maintaining a fast pace over vast distances. The true strength of the wild dog lies in its social bonds and communication. Through a complex system of vocalizations, body postures, and even facial expressions, the pack synchronizes its actions with astonishing precision. When the pack is on the move, it appears as a swirling mass of energy, each dog aware of the others, adjusting speed and direction in real time, creating a living, breathing organism that moves as one. The hunt begins with a ritual unique to wild dogs. As dawn breaks, the pack gathers, stretching, yawning, and engaging in a flurry of social interactions that serve to strengthen bonds and synchronize intentions. This pre-hunt rally is more than mere play. Through nuzzling, licking, and a chorus of high-pitched chirps and twittering calls, the pack builds excitement and ensures every member is alert and ready. The ritual culminates in a surge of collective energy, a signal that the hunt is about to commence. Every dog is attuned to the mood of the group, and only when the pack is unified do they set out. The pack moves out at a purposeful trot, scanning the savannah for signs of prey. Their keen eyesight and acute sense of smell allow them to detect herds from great distances. Unlike leopards or lions, wild dogs do not rely on stealth. Their approach is bold and direct, often in full view of their intended prey. Their strategy is to provoke a reaction, testing the herd for any sign of weakness. They look for individuals that are old, injured, or distracted, those most likely to falter under pressure. In Kafue National Park, a pack was observed hunting impalas near a riverbank. The dogs split into smaller groups, some flanking the herd, while others drove the prey toward the water, anticipating every possible escape route. The pursuit was a masterclass in tactical execution. Each dog played its part, some acting as chasers, others as blockers, seamlessly switching roles as the chase unfolded. As the impalas scattered in panic, the wild dogs did not pursue at random. Instead, they focused on isolating a single target, using their numbers and speed to outmaneuver the herd. The lead dog locked onto the chosen impala, while the rest of the pack fanned out, running in relays to maintain relentless pressure and cut off any escape routes. This relay system allows the pack to conserve energy and sustain the chase over long distances. In this particular hunt, the impala was driven toward the river, where it narrowly avoided a crocodile. The wild dogs anticipated this danger, positioning themselves to intercept the prey as it emerged on the opposite bank. The stamina of the wild dog pack is extraordinary. They can maintain speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour for several kilometers, taking turns at the front to ensure no single dog becomes exhausted. As the prey tires, the pack closes in, tightening their formation. The final moments are swift and ruthlessly efficient, minimizing suffering and risk. The lead dog typically grabs hold of a leg or the rump, bringing the animal down. Instantly, the rest of the pack converges, each member playing a role in subduing the prey. The kill is over in seconds. The pack feeds rapidly with a strict hierarchy. Pups and nursing females are given priority, a testament to the wild dog's cooperative nature. This speed is essential, as larger predators like lions and hyenas are always nearby, ready to steal the kill. The wild dog's rapid feeding minimizes their vulnerability during this critical time. With a hunting success rate that can exceed 80%, wild dogs are among Africa's most effective predators. Their success is a direct result of their endurance, intelligence, and the unbreakable unity of the pack. In the endless expanse of the savannah, the African wild dog reigns as the ultimate marathon hunter, an animal whose survival depends not on individual might, but on the extraordinary power of the pack. The rivers and waterholes of the African savannah are not just lifelines for countless species. They are the stronghold of one of the world's most ancient and formidable predators, the Nile crocodile. These waterways, fringed by dense reeds and muddy banks, form a complex ecosystem where every creature's survival is intricately linked. The Nile crocodile is a living relic, virtually unchanged for over 200 million years. Its armored body, powerful tail, and ancient eyes are perfectly adapted for both stealth and strength, making it a true apex predator. Reaching lengths of up to 6 meters and weighing more than a ton, the Nile crocodile dominates Africa's waterways. Its sheer size and bulk command respect from all other inhabitants of the river. Often they appear as nothing more than logs scattered along the banks, their stillness a masterful disguise. This deceptive calm is a crucial part of their hunting strategy. Basking in the sun, they regulate their body temperature, conserving energy for the explosive bursts of action that define their hunting style. Their metabolism is slow, allowing them to go weeks without food if necessary. The Nile crocodile is a master of patience and precision. It stalks its prey with barely a sound, using the water as both shield and weapon. Every aspect of its anatomy is designed for aquatic ambush. Its muscular tail propels it forward in sudden, explosive lunges, while its webbed feet steer with silent precision. With eyes and nostrils positioned atop its head, the crocodile can remain almost entirely submerged, watching and breathing while remaining virtually invisible to prey. It can wait for hours, motionless beneath the surface, blending seamlessly with the riverbed. This patience is its greatest weapon. When an unsuspecting animal approaches the water's edge, the crocodile launches itself with astonishing speed and force, closing the distance in a fraction of a second. Its jaws are among the most powerful in the animal kingdom, capable of exerting over 5,000 pounds of pressure. These jaws are built not for chewing, but for gripping and crushing. Once it seizes its victim, the crocodile drags it into the depths, using its infamous death roll to tear flesh and dismember the kill. This brutal efficiency ensures that little goes to waste. Despite their power, Nile crocodiles do not always succeed. Larger prey often escape, and a failed hunt means another long wait. Research from the African Center for Ecological Research in 2024 found that attacks on Cape buffalo succeed only about 15% of the time. The buffalo's size and herd behavior provide formidable defense. Crocodiles often target the vulnerable, calves or stragglers, relying on stealth and speed to overcome the herd's defenses. Similarly, their attempts on elephant calves are rarely successful, with a success rate of less than 10%. Elephant herds respond with coordinated defense, forming protective circles and using their size and strength to deter even the largest crocodiles. These giants are vigilant guardians, ensuring the safety of their young against all threats, yet the balance of power shifts dramatically during the Great Migration. As thousands of wildebeest and zebra converge on the Mara River, the crocodile's patience is rewarded. The river becomes a scene of chaos and opportunity. Crocodiles strike with relentless efficiency, capitalizing on the confusion and panic of the crossing herds. Opportunistic by nature, they have learned to anticipate the migration, gathering in numbers and positioning themselves for maximum advantage. The weak, the young, and the unlucky are singled out, turning the river into a gauntlet of terror. Survival depends on speed, strength, and sometimes sheer luck. A single large crocodile can consume up to 22 kilograms of meat in one sitting. During the migration, they gorge themselves, storing energy for the leaner months when prey is scarce. As dusk falls, the river returns to its deceptive tranquility. The Nile crocodile remains an ancient sentinel, maintaining the delicate balance of this ecosystem, Its presence shapes the lives of all who share its domain, a reminder of nature's enduring power and complexity. In the heart of Africa, a drama unfolds each year that is both breathtaking and brutal. The Great Migration is not merely a movement of animals, it is a living river, a pulse of life, that surges across the savannah, shaping the fate of every creature it touches. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, joined by 300,000 zebras and countless gazelles, form a living tide that sweeps from the Serengeti in Tanzania to the lush grasslands of Kenya's Masai Mara. This epic journey is driven by the relentless search for fresh grazing and water, a cycle dictated by the rains and the promise of renewal. The river, in this context, is both a giver and taker of life. As the herds move, the landscape transforms. The plains, once quiet, become a living, breathing entity, thundering with hooves, alive with tension and anticipation. Between July and October, the migration reaches its most perilous chapter, the crossing of the Mara River. Here, the river is not just a barrier, but a crucible, testing the resolve and instincts of every animal. The air vibrates with the sound of millions of hooves, the ground trembling beneath the weight of the herd. The riverbanks become crowded with anxious animals, each one sensing the danger that lies ahead. Predators shadow the herds relentlessly. Lions, leopards, hyenas, and wild dogs prowl the edges, exploiting every moment of weakness. The migration is a feast for them, but also a gauntlet for the prey. The young and the frail are most at risk, often falling behind or becoming separated from the safety of the herd. For these individuals, the journey is a test of endurance and luck. Yet the greatest challenge awaits at the river's edge. The Mara River, swollen by seasonal rains, is a swirling torrent, its current swift, its depths concealing ancient dangers. The river is a living barrier, its waters patrolled by massive Nile crocodiles, some over 5 meters long, their patience honed by years of waiting for this moment. The first wildebeest to leap are often the most vulnerable, swept away by the current or seized by waiting jaws. The riverbank erupts in chaos as the herd surges forward, driven by instinct and the pressure of those behind. Hours can pass as the animals hesitate, their instincts warring with their fear. The tension is palpable, every sense alert, every muscle coiled. Some step forward only to retreat while others are pushed by the mass behind. The decision to cross is collective, yet each animal faces it alone. Beneath the surface, crocodiles glide silently, their eyes just above the water, waiting for the chaos to begin. When it does, the river becomes a scene of violence and desperation. Mortality rates soar. 10 to 15% of the herd may not survive the crossing. Some are taken by crocodiles, others drown, trampled by the press of bodies, or swept away by the current. Crocodiles use their immense tails to propel themselves into the heart of the herd, singling out the weak or isolated. Their jaws clamp down with bone-crushing force, dragging victims beneath the surface in a flurry of bubbles and blood. The river explodes with sound, splashing water, desperate bellows, the frantic struggle of life against death. Yet, within this chaos, stories of survival emerge. The herd's greatest defense is unity. By crossing en masse, they overwhelm the predators, reducing the risk to any single individual. This is the essence of the selfish herd theory, safety in numbers, where the odds of survival increase for those in the center. Crocodiles, despite their power, cannot catch them all. The herd surges forward, a living wall of muscle and determination, each animal fighting for its place on the far bank. Zebras, often more cautious and alert, sometimes lead the way. Their keen senses help detect danger, and their boldness can inspire the wildebeest to follow, plunging into the river as one. The crossing is a maelstrom of bodies and water, a test of courage and instinct. Some animals are swept downstream, only to claw their way back to safety, battered but alive. For those who make it, the far bank is a place of relief and exhaustion. Survivors stand, dripping and trembling, the ordeal etched into every muscle. The river has claimed its toll, but life surges on. Among the survivors, moments of triumph and reunion unfold. A wildebeest calf finds its mother. Gazelles leap nimbly across shallows, each animal carrying the scars and lessons of the crossing. As the sun sets over the Mara, the river returns to calm. The survivors graze on fresh grass, their journey far from over, but for now, they have endured one of nature's greatest trials. The river, in all its beauty and danger, remains the heart of this migration, a force that shapes destinies, forges resilience, and reminds us of the raw, unyielding power of the wild. In the high-stakes world of the African savannah, the spotlight often falls on the formidable predators, lions, leopards and cheetahs, whose power and prowess dominate the landscape. Yet, to focus solely on these hunters is to overlook the remarkable ingenuity and resilience of their prey. The animals pursued, zebras, wildebeest, gazelles and countless others, are not passive victims. They are masters of survival, shaped by millennia of relentless predation into some of the most resourceful and adaptive creatures on Earth. Their existence is a daily testament to endurance and adaptability. Every sense is honed for survival, sight, smell and hearing working in concert to detect the faintest hint of danger. Vigilance is the first and most vital line of defense. Herds act as a living network of sentinels, each individual contributing to a collective awareness. Ears twitch at the slightest rustle, nostrils test the wind for unfamiliar scents, and eyes scan the horizon for the subtlest movement. Group tactics are essential. For Cape buffalo, unity is strength. When threatened, they do not scatter in panic. Instead, adults form a formidable barrier, encircling the vulnerable calves and presenting a wall of horns and muscle that few predators dare challenge. This defensive formation is not merely passive. Buffaloes are known for their aggressive counterattacks, surging forward as a unified force to mob and drive away even the most determined lions. Such displays of collective aggression often turn the tables, forcing predators to retreat. Elephants elevate this strategy to an extraordinary level. As the largest land mammals, adult elephants are nearly invulnerable, but their calves are prime targets. The herd's response to danger is immediate and coordinated, with adults forming a living fortress around the young. The matriarch, drawing on decades of experience, leads the defensive maneuver. Elephants possess exceptional memory, recalling past threats and safe havens, and communicate complex warnings through infrasonic rumbles and body language. When a threat is near, the herd tightens its formation. Adults face outward, flapping ears to appear larger, kicking up dust, and unleashing thunderous trumpets. This intimidating display is often enough to deter even the boldest predators. Smaller animals too have evolved sophisticated strategies. Meerkats, for example, rely on sentinels that stand guard, scanning for aerial and terrestrial threats and issuing sharp alarm calls at the first sign of danger. Baboons, when approaching a river, a notorious ambush site for crocodiles, deploy sentinels who issue loud, piercing barks to alert the troop. The group moves with caution, never allowing complacency to endanger their safety. Physical adaptations are equally vital. The zebra's iconic stripes, for instance, create a visual illusion when the herd runs, making it difficult for predators to single out an individual. Gazelles rely on explosive acceleration and unpredictable zigzagging to evade pursuit, while wildebeest use sheer numbers and coordinated movement to overwhelm and confuse attackers. Many prey species have evolved remarkable physical traits: elongated limbs for speed, acute vision for spotting threats at great distances, and even specialized hooves for rapid turns or leaping over obstacles. Some, like the impala, can split and regroup in a flash, while topy antelope use elevated vantage points to keep watch over the plains. Camouflage and stealth are also crucial. Newborn antelope and wildebeest calves are born with muted coats that blend seamlessly into the grass, and their instinct is to remain perfectly still when danger is near. Some herds will fan out, creating confusion, while others use dust clouds to obscure their movements. Night brings new challenges, and many prey animals have adapted with enhanced night vision, acute hearing, and silent movement. Some, like the bat-eared fox, rely on oversized ears to detect the faintest sounds, while others, such as the spring hare, use powerful hind legs to leap away from danger in the darkness. Across the savannah, survival is a dynamic contest of adaptation and innovation. Each species, from the mightiest elephant to the smallest antelope, has developed a unique suite of strategies: vigilance, cooperation, camouflage, speed, and intelligence, all finely tuned to outwit the ever-present threat of predation. In this evolutionary arms race, the hunted are not merely survivors, they are innovators, constantly evolving new ways to endure and thrive in one of the world's most unforgiving arenas. The epic struggles between predator and prey on the African savannah are more than just dramatic moments. They are the very heartbeat of this ecosystem. Each encounter, each chase, and every quiet moment of watchfulness is a testament to the intricate balance that has evolved over countless generations. Every creature, from the towering elephant to the smallest insect, plays an indispensable role in a complex and delicately balanced web of life. The presence of each species, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a thread woven into the fabric of the savannah. Predators, often misunderstood as mere takers of life, are in fact the ecosystem's vital regulators. Their existence ensures that populations of herbivores remain healthy and balanced, preventing overgrazing and the collapse of the very landscapes that sustain all life here. Herbivores, in turn, shape the land through their grazing, dispersing seeds and fertilizing the soil, creating opportunities for new growth and supporting a mosaic of habitats. Their movements and migrations are the pulse of the savannah, driving cycles of renewal and abundance. The predators cull the weak and the sick, maintaining the genetic health and strength of prey populations. Scavengers and decomposers complete the cycle, returning nutrients to the earth and ensuring that nothing is wasted. This is nature's quality control, a system perfected over millennia. The rhythm of life and death, growth and decay, is a symphony of interconnected processes that sustains the entire ecosystem. Yet this intricate balance is becoming increasingly fragile. The pressures of a changing world threaten to unravel the delicate threads that hold the savannah together. Wild spaces are shrinking, squeezed by expanding agriculture, infrastructure, and the relentless advance of human activity. Natural corridors are severed, and the ancient migrations that once defined these lands are disrupted. Poaching and illegal hunting continue to pose grave threats, not only to iconic giants like elephants and rhinos, but also to the elusive predators and the countless lesser-known species that share their world. The disappearance of a single species can trigger a cascade of consequences, rippling through the ecosystem in ways both immediate and unforeseen. If a top predator is lost, herbivore populations can surge unchecked, stripping the land bare and leaving it vulnerable to erosion and desertification. If a key prey species vanishes, the predators that depend on them face starvation, and the intricate food web begins to unravel. Every thread in this tapestry is connected. When one is pulled, the entire picture begins to unravel, and the loss is felt far beyond the savannah itself. Preserving these magnificent animals and their habitats is not merely about saving beautiful creatures. It is about safeguarding the processes that keep the land fertile, the rivers flowing, and the climate stable. The great national parks, Kafue, Masai Mara, and others, are not just sanctuaries for wildlife. They are living laboratories, reservoirs of genetic diversity, and strongholds of resilience in a rapidly changing world. Conservation efforts, restoring habitats, protecting migration routes, and allowing natural processes to recover, are essential to the survival of the savannah and all who depend on it. Even the smallest acts of preservation can have profound effects, allowing the land to heal and the cycles of life to continue. The drama of the savannah, the hunt, the escape, the quiet moments of survival, reminds us of the raw beauty and brutal honesty of the natural world. It is a living lesson in resilience, adaptation, and the profound interconnectedness of all living things. These animals endure drought, fire, and flood, adapting to the shifting rhythms of the land. Their survival is a testament to the power of nature's design. We have a shared duty to ensure that future generations can witness the lion's roar echoing across the plains and feel the ground tremble beneath the hooves of the Great Migration, a spectacle that embodies the wild heart of Africa. The fate of these animals is inseparable from the fate of the land itself. Their continued existence is a measure of the health of the ecosystem and, by extension, the health of our planet. Their survival is a reflection of our commitment to stewardship, and by protecting them, we ensure that the wild heart of Africa continues to beat, strong, vibrant, and eternal, for centuries to come. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savannah transforms. Daylight's golden glow fades into indigo, and a hush falls over the plains. But this silence is deceptive. In the world of shadows, a new caste of predators awakens, those who rule the night with senses honed for darkness and survival. The African savanna's nocturnal hunters are shaped by the demands of their twilight domain. Lions, often thought of as diurnal, reveal their true prowess once night falls. Their golden eyes, equipped with a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, amplify even the faintest glimmers of starlight, granting them exceptional night vision. Moving with stealth and coordination, lion prides use the cover of darkness to approach unsuspecting prey, their roars echoing less frequently as silence becomes their greatest ally. Nearby, the elusive leopard slips through the undergrowth, its rosette-spotted coat blending seamlessly with moon-dappled foliage. Solitary and secretive, leopards rely on acute hearing and a sense of smell far keener than a human's. With unmatched patience, they stalk through tangled brush, pausing for minutes at a time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Their powerful jaws and muscular bodies allow them to drag heavy kills up into the safety of trees, away from the scavengers that prowl below. The hyena clan, often misunderstood, patrols the night with a complex social structure and surprising intelligence. Their eerie calls punctuate the darkness as they communicate over great distances. Hyenas combine formidable jaw strength with remarkable endurance, capable of running for miles to exhaust their quarry. While often perceived as scavengers, they are skilled hunters, using teamwork and strategy to bring down prey much larger than themselves. In the shadows, the serval cat stalks through tall grasses, its oversized ears swivel independently, triangulating the faint rustle of a rodent or the flutter of a night bird. With a sudden leap, sometimes reaching over 2 meters high, the serval snatches prey with precision, its slender frame built for agility and speed. On the fringes, the bat-eared fox emerges, its enormous ears scanning for the subtle movements of insects underground. With a diet that shifts with the seasons, this small predator exemplifies adaptability, thriving where others cannot by exploiting the abundance of nocturnal invertebrates. The night also belongs to the lesser-known, like the African civet and the genet, whose masked faces and ringed tails slip through the undergrowth, their acute senses guiding them to beetles, frogs, and fallen fruit. Each nocturnal predator has carved out a unique niche, reducing competition and ensuring the savanna's ecosystem remains in balance. Here competition is fierce but specialized. The lion's power, the leopard's stealth, the hyena's cunning, and the serval's agility each fill a specific role. Their interactions are subtle, a hyena shadowing a leopard's kill, a pride of lions avoiding the territory of a dominant male. These are the unspoken rules of the night. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal hunters retreat, their work done until darkness falls again. The savanna's rhythm continues, an endless cycle of adaptation and survival. In the shadows after sundown, the masters of the night remind us that even in darkness, life finds a way to thrive, quietly, efficiently, and with breathtaking precision. As the first rays of dawn stretch across the savannah, another cast of characters emerges, often overlooked, yet essential to the web of life. Scavengers, the unsung custodians of the ecosystem, move in with the fading shadows, drawn by the scent of opportunity left behind by the night's hunters. Vultures, the silent sentinels of the sky, circle high above, their keen eyesight scanning the plains for signs of a fresh carcass. With wingspans that command the wind and beaks designed for precision, they descend in coordinated flocks. Each species finds its place around the remains. White-backed vultures tearing open hides, lappet-faced vultures cracking bones, and hooded vultures delicately picking over the scraps. Their efficiency leaves little to waste, ensuring that disease does not fester and the savannah remains clean. On the ground, jackals and hyenas join the feast. While hyenas are formidable hunters under the cover of night, they are equally adept at scavenging, their powerful jaws crunching through bone to access the nourishing marrow within. Jackals, smaller and more cautious, dart in to snatch morsels, relying on speed and cunning to avoid confrontation with larger competitors. Even the smallest scavengers play their part. Dung beetles roll away nutrient-rich spheres, recycling waste back into the soil. Insects, ants, and microbes swarm over what remains, breaking down flesh and bone until only memories linger on the wind. These scavengers are not merely opportunists, they are nature's recyclers, essential for maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. By removing carrion swiftly, they prevent the spread of disease and return vital nutrients to the earth. Their presence ensures that the savannah does not become a graveyard, but rather a thriving landscape of renewal. Survival for scavengers is a game of timing and adaptability. They rely on acute senses to detect food from miles away, and social hierarchies or stealth to claim their share. Some, like the marabou stork, use patience and persistence, waiting until larger predators have had their fill. Others, like the aardwolf, specialize further, seeking out termite mounds when larger meals are scarce. Through their actions, scavengers close the loop of life and death on the savannah. Their resilience and adaptability allow them to thrive where others cannot, and their tireless work keeps the cycle of life in motion. In the grand tapestry of the wild, they are the quiet stewards, restoring balance, preventing decay, and ensuring the savannah remains a place where life not only survives but flourishes. In the vast expanse of the savannah, survival is a relentless pursuit. For prey animals, every day is a delicate dance between vigilance and vulnerability. Their lives depend not just on speed or strength, but on an intricate arsenal of strategies honed over millennia, a living testament to the art of evasion. Camouflage is their first line of defense. Gazelles blend seamlessly into the tall golden grasses, their coats dappled with subtle markings that disrupt their outline. Young impalas rest motionless in the shade, their spotted flanks mimicking the shifting patterns of sunlight and leaf. Even the stately kudu, with its spiral horns, relies on a muted, earth-toned coat to vanish into the thickets, standing perfectly still as danger passes by. But camouflage is only half the battle. Prey animals possess finely tuned senses, ears that swivel to catch the faintest rustle, eyes positioned wide to scan for movement, and noses that sample the breeze for the scent of a lurking predator. Herds of wildebeest and zebra form living mosaics, their stripes and numbers confusing the eye of the hunter, making it nearly impossible to single out an individual target. Alert systems are woven into the fabric of their societies. A single alarm call, a snort, a bark, a shrill whistle, ripples through the herd in an instant. Meerkats stand sentry, scanning the horizon from their sandy mounds, ready to sound the alarm with a sharp chirp if a shadow crosses the sky. Guinea fowl and baboons, ever watchful, add their voices to this living network of warnings, ensuring that no threat goes unnoticed. Group behaviors further tilt the odds of survival. Prey animals move in coordinated bursts, a school of impalas bounding in unison, zigzagging through the grass to confuse their pursuers. Wildebeest stampede in dense, churning masses, their numbers overwhelming even the most determined predators. At waterholes, antelope gather in mixed groups, capitalizing on the many eyes and ears to detect danger from every angle. Yet, survival is not just about fleeing. Some species employ bold tactics. Zebras kick with lethal force when cornered, and buffalo form defensive circles around their young, horns outward, facing down even the fiercest of lions. The smallest creatures, like the dik-dik, rely on secretive trails and sudden bursts of speed, vanishing into the undergrowth at the first sign of movement. In this world of perpetual risk, adaptation is everything. Each species, from the towering giraffe to the tiny spring hare, has refined its own balance of caution and courage. Together, their strategies create a living tapestry of resilience, a testament to the ingenuity and determination required to survive in the wild heart of the savannah. Here, every shadow may conceal a threat, but every heartbeat is a triumph of nature's most remarkable survivors. As the sun arcs across the African sky, the savannah is shaped by a force more powerful than tooth or claw, the rhythm of the seasons. Here, the cycle of wet and dry transforms the land, dictating the fates of predator and prey alike, and orchestrating one of nature's most dramatic spectacles, migration. With the first distant rumble of thunder, the parched earth springs to life. Torrents of rain sweep across the plains, coaxing fresh grasses from the dust and swelling rivers that had dwindled to trickles. For herbivores, this is a season of abundance. Wildebeest, zebra, and antelope graze on emerald pastures, their herds swelling as calves and foals are born into the promise of plenty. But this bounty is fleeting. As the dry season returns, the landscape transforms. Waterholes shrink, grasses wither, and the air grows heavy with dust. Scarcity drives the great migrations, a tide of hooves and horns moving in search of food and water. Wildebeest thunder across the plains in vast columns, joined by a mosaic of zebra and gazelle. Their journey, spanning hundreds of miles, is fraught with peril, crocodile-infested rivers, parched stretches, and the ever-watchful eyes of predators. For lions, hyenas, and cheetahs, the migrations are both opportunity and challenge. The abundance of prey draws them in, but the competition is fierce. Pride territories shift, coalitions form and dissolve, and the hunt becomes a relentless game of endurance. As prey congregate around dwindling water sources, predators adapt their strategies, ambushing at the edge of muddy pools, or lying in wait along migration routes where exhaustion and confusion claim the vulnerable. Environmental challenges shape every decision. Elephants, with their uncanny memory, lead their herds to hidden springs remembered from seasons past. Giraffes stretch for the last green leaves high in the acacia canopy. The smallest creatures, termites and dung beetles, burrow deep, waiting for the rains to return. Even the apex predators are not immune. As water becomes scarce, lion prides fragment, cheetahs range farther afield, and leopards retreat into denser thickets. The balance shifts, and survival hinges not just on strength or cunning, but on the ability to adapt to the land's mercurial moods. In the savannah, each season is a test, a crucible that forges resilience and innovation. Migration, adaptation, and the ceaseless interplay of predator and prey are all woven into the tapestry of life, their stories written in the dust and rain. Here the true master is the land itself, and every creature, from fleet-footed antelope to stealthy lion, dances to the ancient, unyielding pulse of the seasons. Beneath the shimmering surface of Africa's rivers lies a world rarely glimpsed by the creatures of the savannah, a realm ruled by silent predators, perfectly adapted to hunt in the murky depths. Here, vision fades and sound becomes muffled, but the senses of the aquatic hunters are razor-sharp. The African rivers, winding through the heart of the wilderness, are home to more than just the formidable Nile crocodile. Giant catfish, armored with scales and equipped with sensitive barbels, patrol the riverbeds, They lurk in shadowed crevices, waiting for unsuspecting birds, amphibians, or even small mammals to approach the water's edge. With a sudden rush, they launch themselves upward, jaws agape, snatching prey in a spray of water and mud. Nearby, the stealthy African tigerfish prowls. Sleek and muscular, these hunters are the terror of smaller fish, using bursts of speed and rows of razor-sharp teeth to ambush from below. Their attacks are swift and decisive, a blur of silver and red in the dappled sunlight. But these aquatic predators do not exist in isolation. Their world is a crossroads, where land and water meet, and every creature that comes to drink or cross the river risks becoming prey. Antelope, zebras, and even elephants must approach with caution. A ripple on the surface, a subtle swirl of current. These are the only warnings before a crocodile explodes from the depths. With jaws clamping shut with bone-crushing force, the crocodile drags its victim into the water, rolling and twisting in a deadly embrace. Competition beneath the surface is fierce. Crocodiles defend their territories with violent clashes, leaping from the water in displays of dominance that send shockwaves across the river. Catfish and tigerfish, in turn, hunt in overlapping ranges, their paths crossing in a silent struggle for survival. Yet the river is not just a hunting ground. It is a lifeline. During the dry season, as waterholes vanish and riverbanks recede, the aquatic predators become even more formidable. Fish concentrate in shrinking pools, and crocodiles gather in greater numbers, their patience and power unrivaled. The desperate thirst of land animals brings them closer to danger, their every movement watched from below. Here, in the hidden world beneath the waterline, the rules of the savannah are rewritten. Stealth and patience, ambush and adaptation, these are the tools of survival. And as dusk falls and the river's surface turns to glass, the aquatic hunters wait, unseen, for the next opportunity, their ancient eyes watching the boundary where land meets water. In Africa's rivers, life and death unfold in silence. The surface conceals a world of shadows, where the most dangerous hunters are those you never see. In the untamed heart of the African wilderness, every new life is both a promise and a gamble. For the young, whether they emerge blinking from the grass, stumble from the shelter of a den, or break the surface of a river, the journey begins in a world shaped by peril and opportunity. From their very first breath, newborns must adapt quickly. Gazelle calves, barely minutes old, struggle to their feet, driven by instinct to stand and run. Their spotted coats blend perfectly with the dappled light, offering camouflage as mothers watch the horizon for predators. But even with these gifts, the savannah is unforgiving. Jackals, hyenas, and big cats patrol the plains, ever alert for signs of the vulnerable. In the dense thickets, lion cubs play under the watchful gaze of their mothers and aunts. Their games are more than simple fun. They are lessons in stalking, pouncing, and social bonds. Each mock ambush hones the skills they will need to hunt and survive. Yet danger is never far. Male lions, seeking to claim a pride, pose a grave threat to cubs not their own, forcing mothers to hide their young or move them frequently. For elephant calves, survival is a matter of memory and mentorship. Herds gather around their youngest, shielding them from predators and guiding them to waterholes remembered across generations. The matriarch's experience becomes the calf's best defense, teaching them which plants to eat, which paths to follow, and how to read the shifting moods of the savannah. Even for the aquatic, the early days are fraught with risk. Young hippos, born underwater, cling to their mothers as crocodiles lurk nearby. Only the most vigilant survive, learning to navigate the currents and recognize the subtle warnings of threat beneath the surface. Bird chicks, high in the acacia trees or hidden in grass nests, face their own gauntlet. Eagles and snakes are ever watchful, and only the most cautious and well-camouflaged will fledge. Some, like the plover, use distraction displays, feigning injury to draw danger away from their offspring. Adaptation is key. Wildebeest calves are born during mass calving events, overwhelming predators with sheer numbers. Wild dog pups depend on the entire pack, fed and guarded by adults as they grow strong enough to join the hunt. Even the smallest, termites and frogs, use numbers, toxicity, or rapid development to escape the jaws of hungry mouths. Every young animal is a student of survival. They learn by watching, imitating, and, when necessity demands, by trial and error. The lessons are harsh, the stakes are high, but those who master the wild's unwritten curriculum earn a place in the endless cycle of life. In Africa, youth is fleeting, but in every leap, every chase, every narrow escape, the next generation forges the skills and instincts that will shape the future of the savannah. In the intricate tapestry of the African wilderness, survival is rarely a solitary endeavor. Beneath the fierce competition and daily dramas, a subtler dance unfolds, a network of alliances linking species in mutually beneficial bonds. These symbiotic relationships, often invisible to the casual observer, are the hidden threads maintaining balance in the ecosystem. On the open plains, the oxpecker perches atop the massive frame of a buffalo or rhinoceros. Its sharp beak plucks ticks and parasites from thick hides, providing relief for its host while securing a steady meal. In return, the bird's alarm calls serve as an early warning system, alerting its larger companion to the approach of danger. At the water's edge, the Egyptian plover performs a delicate service for the Nile crocodile. With remarkable trust, the crocodile allows the tiny bird to enter its open jaws, where the plover removes scraps of meat and parasites, keeping the reptile's teeth clean and healthy. In the shade of acacia trees, ants and trees form a formidable partnership. The tree offers the ants sweet nectar and shelter within its hollow thorns. In exchange, armies of ants defend the acacia from hungry herbivores, swarming any intruder that dares to nibble on its leaves. Even the mighty elephants play a role in shaping their environment for others. As they travel, their immense bodies carve pathways through dense brush, opening corridors for smaller animals. Their dung, rich with seeds, becomes a mobile nursery, spreading new life across the savannah and feeding dung beetles, who in turn aerate and fertilize the soil. The wildebeest and zebra, though competitors for grass, often graze together, each benefiting from the other's presence. Zebras, with their keen senses, spot predators early, while wildebeest numbers provide additional safety. Together, they reduce the odds of falling prey, and their mixed grazing patterns help maintain healthy grasslands. In the trees above, vervet monkeys and impalas form an unlikely alliance. The monkeys, ever watchful from their aerial vantage points, sound alarms at the sight of leopards or eagles. The impalas, sensitive to these calls, react swiftly, and in turn, their movements alert the monkeys to ground-based dangers. Each partnership is a quiet testament to the interconnectedness of life. From the smallest insect to the largest mammal, these alliances shape the rhythm of the wild, ensuring that no species stands alone. In the savannah's grand design, survival is not just a matter of strength or cunning, but of collaboration, a living web of alliance and balance that sustains the heart of Africa. As the relentless sun climbs higher in the sky and the rains fail to come, the African wilderness is transformed. Rivers shrink to memory, watering holes recede into cracked mud, and the once vibrant grasslands fade to brittle gold. Drought, an ancient adversary, descends upon the savannah, testing the resilience of every living creature. For the great elephant herds, the search for water becomes a journey of endurance and memory. The matriarch, wise with decades of experience, leads her family across vast distances, her mind tracing hidden paths to secret springs and ancient riverbeds. Calves struggle to keep pace, their trunks reaching for trickles of moisture hidden beneath the sand. Each step is a gamble, each day a challenge to survival. Zebra and wildebeest join the exodus, their hooves stirring dust as they march in endless columns toward distant, shrinking waterholes. Their migrations, guided by instinct and the scent of rain on the wind, are a race against thirst and time. Along the way, predators shadow the herds, lions and hyenas, leaner and more desperate, drawn to the gathering crowds at every remaining pool. In the parched bush, smaller creatures adapt in ingenious ways. The sand grouse, a desert specialist, soaks its belly feathers in water miles away, and flies back to its waiting chicks, each drop a lifeline. The aardvark burrows deeper into the earth, escaping the blistering heat until nightfall brings a measure of relief. Crocodiles, masters of patience, retreat into the last muddy wallows, slowing their heartbeat to conserve energy, waiting for the rains to return. Fish, trapped in shrinking pools, become easy prey for opportunistic birds and mammals, each loss a link in the chain of survival. Yet, even in hardship, life finds a way. As the first thunderheads gather on the horizon, anticipation electrifies the savannah. The earth, cracked and barren, waits for renewal. When the rains finally break, the transformation is instant. Grass shoots push through the soil, rivers swell, and the great migrations reverse, returning life to the plains. Survival in these harsh times is a testament to adaptation, memory, and endurance. The drought may shape the land, but it forges the spirit of its inhabitants. Each species, from the largest elephant to the smallest insect, bound together in a cycle of challenge and renewal. Beneath the towering acacias and the gaze of Africa's giants, a hidden multitude shapes the fate of the savannah. Insects and small creatures, often overlooked yet numbering in the billions, form the intricate foundation upon which this ecosystem thrives. Termites, the tireless architects, are among the savannah's most influential engineers. Their towering mounds rise from the earth, regulating temperature and moisture with remarkable precision. These structures not only shelter entire colonies, but also provide refuge for snakes, lizards, and even warthogs seeking shade in the midday heat. As termites break down tough plant material, they recycle nutrients, enriching the soil and fueling the next generation of plant life. Dung beetles, undeterred by size or status, play their part in the grand cycle. They sculpt balls from the droppings of elephants, buffalo, and antelope, rolling them away to bury as both food and nursery for their young. In doing so, they clean the landscape, aerate the soil, and disperse seeds, tiny custodians maintaining the health of the plains. Ants, with their complex societies, wage silent wars and forge unlikely alliances. Some species herd aphids for their sweet secretions, while others defend the acacia trees that shelter them, repelling hungry herbivores with coordinated attacks. Their tunnels aerate the ground, and their relentless activity ensures the constant turnover of organic matter. Grasshoppers and locusts, masters of mobility, harness the wind to traverse vast distances. In lean times, their numbers swell, forming swarms that darken the sky and reshape the savannah in a matter of days. Their presence is both a trial and a boon, devouring crops, yet providing a sudden feast for birds, reptiles, and mammals alike. For the smallest mammals, shrews, mice, and gerbils, survival is a dance of caution. They weave through the grass under cover of darkness, foraging for seeds and insects, ever alert to the silent approach of owls, snakes, and jackals. Their burrows provide cool refuge from the relentless sun and shelter from larger predators. Even in their vulnerability, these minuscule creatures wield outsized influence. They pollinate flowers, disperse seeds, and serve as the essential first link in countless food chains. Their lives, brief yet vital, ripple outward, supporting the birds that soar above, the reptiles that slither below, and the great mammals that roam the plains. The savannah, in all its grandeur, is sustained by these small wonders. In every flutter of wings, every scurry beneath the grass, the heartbeat of the ecosystem endures, delicate, resilient, and indispensable. Across the endless grasses of the savannah, a distant crackle grows into a roaring tempest. Wildfires, ignited by lightning or the unyielding heat of the dry season, sweep across the landscape in waves of orange and black. In their path, life is tested. For the animals, survival hinges on ancient instincts. Herds of antelope and zebras sense the wind shifting, hooves pounding as they flee the encroaching flames. Birds take to the sky, swirling in darkened plumes, while burrowing creatures, meerkats, warthogs, and rodents, seek refuge beneath the earth, safe from the inferno above. Even the slow-moving tortoise, armored and methodical, finds sanctuary in the damp hollows of abandoned termite mounds. Predators seize opportunity amid chaos. Raptors scan the smoke-filled horizon for small mammals, flushed from hiding, while jackals and hyenas prowl the fire's edge, capitalizing on confusion and exhaustion. In these moments, the rhythm of survival intensifies, each heartbeat a gamble, every instinct tested, yet the devastation is not without purpose. As the flames subside, the blackened earth waits, dormant but not defeated. Ash, rich in nutrients, settles into the soil, setting the stage for a remarkable transformation. With the first rains, green shoots pierce the charcoal crust, igniting a surge of life. Grasses rebound with vigor, nourishing grazers and in turn the predators that follow them. Trees, scarred but resilient, sprout new leaves, their seeds, some only able to germinate after fire, ushering in the next generation. The recovery is swift and spectacular. Insects return en masse, pollinating the fresh blooms and breaking down debris. Birds flock to feast on new growth and the bounty of exposed insects. The web of life, momentarily fractured, weaves itself anew, stronger, more diverse, and better adapted to the pulse of fire and renewal. Wildfires and natural disasters, though fierce and unforgiving, are woven into the very fabric of the savannah. They are both destroyer and creator, agents of change that shape the land, test the living, and ultimately spark cycles of rebirth. In the aftermath, the savannah endures, forever transformed and eternally resilient.